Hey y'all, it's Katie and welcome back. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to check out another one of my videos. And today is the very last video in my countdown for the best of palettes from 2020. If you guys missed any of my videos, I'm counting down my top 15 palettes that I tried in 2020. I already shared a good chunk of it, but starting at number 5, I've been doing a look with each of the palettes, and today I'm about to share my number 1 palette for 2020, which is it was a lot of pressure to try to pick one palette out of over 60 that I tried in 2020 and claim it as the best of the best, the top palette that beat out all the other ones. I tried so many great palettes this year. It was so hard, but I finally narrowed it down. And yes, today we're going to be sharing my top 1. If you missed any of my videos, as I said, I will leave them linked down in the description box. You can see all of the palettes that I put in my top 5 and see a bunch of looks with the top picks. And today we're going to do one last final look to round this out with my top 1 palette. Let me know if you guys guessed it down below. I would love to hear if you guys were able to guess it correctly. I feel like it's a very obvious number 1 when it comes to me and good palettes, but it is the Shroud Cosmetics and Beauty Bean It's Freakin' Bats palette. This palette is so beautiful. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I am very, very fortunate and very, very blessed and very, very thankful to have been able to have this before the end of the year, be able to try it in 2020, because a lot of people aren't getting their palettes yet or haven't, they've ordered and they're still waiting for their palettes. So I'm very thankful and I'm so excited that I got to try it before 2020 ended. Okay, I had to change my battery, so if the lighting changed, that's what happened. Great start to this video, but let's just keep on trucking. Yeah, so it's Freakin' Bats palette by Beauty Bean. I am, like I said, I'm very thankful to have been able to get it before the end of 2020, and I enjoyed it so very much. I've created 5 different looks. I forget exactly. You have to see my review in my last Palette Palooza to see all the looks that I did, but I am so excited that I get to play with it one last time. And today I want to focus on doing an all matte look. You guys know I love my all matte looks, and it's actually something I haven't done with this palette. There's only 4 mattes, but I think I can use all of those to make a really pretty look, so I'm super excited to dive in. But yeah, this is my number 1 palette for 2020. As I said already, I feel like it was a little predictable when it comes to me. You guys know my preferences, and you guys know my love of intense colors. You guys know my love of, I almost dropped it. You guys know my love of grungy colors, so I feel like everyone probably assumed that this was going to make it to the top since I was able to try it in 2020, but let me know if you were able to guess it right. But yeah, let's go ahead and just cut to the chase and zoom on in and do a look with this palette and play with it one final time. Oh, before I dive in, I do want to say I am going to do a 3 looks 1 palette with this beauty right here. I've already got it recorded, but I just haven't had time to edit it in December, so it will be coming in January. So if you're curious to see more looks, maybe looks that feature and show the shimmers, because like I said, I'm going to focus mainly on the mattes today, stay tuned. In like a couple weeks, I'm going to try to get it up as soon as possible once KateMas is over, but stay tuned. I'll have a bunch more looks coming to you guys with this palette in the new year. So yes, I did want to touch on that. Let's go ahead and zoom in and get started. Okay, I have my eyes primed. I try to remember to do this before the video starts, but honestly, most days I forget. But anyway, if you're ever curious, typically when I do a first impressions or any kind of doing my makeup on camera and I'm just doing my eye makeup, I will prime my eyes with the Gerard Clean Canvas Eye Base, just because I feel like it's just quick and easy to both prime and, conceal my eyelids a little bit. But anyway, I know sometimes I forget to say, so I figured I would throw that out there. But yeah, there we go. I feel like I'm being rough. I need to relax. Relax, Katie, and chill. I definitely know I want Trappa, right? Trappa on the lid. You guys know my love of this type of color, so I want that to be the focus. I'm going to do a half cut crease, so I'm going to put that mainly there. And because of that, I think I want to do, what should I do? I think I'm going to buff this out into my crease and see how dark it is. And if I want to, I think I'm going to deepen it up a little bit with the green. Maybe. I think that'll look pretty, just a little bit into the crease. And then this is going to go on the outer corner, gorgeous outer corner shade. And then, like I said, that will be all over the lid. And then I'll see how I feel about the look. And I want to put either one of these to transition this shade into that shade. But I haven't quite decided. But that's where I'm starting with. We'll see how the look ends. You know me and how my looks can go. They can all have to do a 180 halfway through. Okay, I'm just going to take this E38 brush. And as I said, I'm going to go into Spooky and buff this in. Another reason I typically prime my eyes and then do my intro is to give my eye base some time to set, because as you can see it's sticking a little bit, but that's because my eyeshadow primer, or like the base, was a little too tacky. I had literally just blended it out, and I find it's just easier to give it a little bit of time to get to dry out a bit, just to make it easier to blend out. But that's looking really pretty. Let me do the same to the other side. Yeah, see, this feels less tacky, so let's see if this side goes on easier. Yeah, this side I don't really see the lines. I'm going in very lightly because I don't want to go too heavy. Like I said, I think I want to put another shade into the crease there, so I'm wanting to use this as like my lightest shade to really buff and blend everything out. So anyway, that's why I'm going in light, like I'm barely tapping it into the pan, and then I am dusting it off before I dive in. But yeah, that's how that's looking. And I know I say in my review, but it's very powdery, the pan. I guess I can show you guys. I think you can see the powder kick up. And I'm always very gentle with my my products, and whenever I'm going into a pan, I'm always very soft as I tap in and whatnot. So these shadows, like the way they kick up, really do remind me, and even like performance on the eyes and whatnot, they remind me of Menagerie. So if you like her shadows, you will like this. I think I mentioned also in my review, here I am just giving away my review, but anyway, I had tried two of their previous palettes, and they were pressed a lot firmer, so I didn't have all this kick up or like this intensity of color, but they still worked great on the eyes when I used them. I have the Divinity and the Creepy Cute, but they both swatch horribly for me, and they also, like, you have to kind of stab in a little bit and kind of get the product, whereas this is like I said, it's so soft. It's a little bit like polar opposite to their two previous palettes, but I love the change. Not saying it's a bad thing, but I love it. Anyway, this is where we're at. I'm going to get a really tiny brush. Okay, I got interrupted, so if anything looks different, it's just because I had to get up and I'm sitting back down like 5 minutes later. Anyway, I'm going to take this E36 brush right here. It's stained, it's not dirty. I'm going to take that Adams shade, and I'm going to put that right into the crease. I definitely don't want this shade to overtake the look. I want that purple blue, whatever we put down initially, to stay the strongest for the, like, when I have my eyes open. But when I have my eyes closed and along the edge of my cut crease, I really want this green to pop. Okay, like that. Ooh, that looks so pretty. See how much definition it's given? And then I'm gonna just take a little bit of Spooky once again, and I'm gonna use Spooky to blend out and mesh the two together, just because, like I said, I don't want to bring that up. I feel like I always bring the dark shade up too high, and then all of a sudden I have all the colors all the way to my brows, which, I mean, no, there's still some space. But typically I feel like I tend to just bring it way too high. So I'm gonna use Spooky and a bit of a fluffier brush to come in here, and then I'll bring this brush back in that I did Adams, and without any more product, I'll just go right at the line that I see. I need to bring my mirror close. I feel like I'm squinting today. Okay, like that. I feel like that's a really pretty blend. At the present moment, my screen or my mirror is extremely dirty and far away, so no, I think that's good. Brought it closer. Okay, let me do that to the other side and we'll move on. Okay, so here is where we are at. I like how it's looking. I'm gonna go ahead and clean out this brush. So I wanna use it for that outer corner, which I'm gonna put Dairy, which is the deepest, like, plum purple-ish shade. This shade right there. Whew, my lights just got bright. Whew, blinding over here. And I'm gonna just pack that on the outer corner and mesh that into the green. I haven't said, but I'm just now seeing a little bit of fallout. Really not a ton, but definitely a little bit now. I think it's probably mostly due to that dark shade. Anyway, I'm going back into the green Adams, and I'm going to use that right in my crease and very gently buff it out. I'd love to know if you guys picked this up before I think they closed orders at the time of me filming this. I think they have paused on taking in any more orders until they get more ahead of it. Though I don't think I've seen an update from them in a while, so I think that's still the case. It could have changed, but let me know if you have this. I know a lot of people are saying that they're, you know, eagerly awaiting their palettes, and I forget, I think in my Palpalooza is where I said this, but I know there's like, not frustration, but just impatience, which I can totally relate to because I was very impatient when I bought this. I managed to snag this before it sold out initially, so within the first 2 minutes I somehow checked out before it sold out. So even with me ordering it initially, it still took well over like a month over, I think, the time that I forget exactly, don't quote me, go look at my previous videos to see how long it took, but it took a long time for me. So I know for me, I was very impatient. Not that I was mad at the brand or anything, or mad at the owner or mean or anything like that, but I was impatient. I'm not gonna lie. So I know a lot of people are impatient, but in my review I said basically that once you get this palette, all the impatience will leave because it's well worth the wait. You'll just have so much fun with it. I mean, if you like the tones, if you like the colors that Butte Bean has put together, if you enjoy those kind of looks and whatnot, it's so much fun. And like this look, I feel like it's one of those looks where it's like, ugh, it really shouldn't work. And maybe it doesn't, but in my eyes, this is totally working. The purple, the blue, I guess like violet, whatever the shade that is, with the green. I just love putting these interesting tones together and seeing them work enough to mesh together. Like, I think that's really pretty. I know it's a little patchy out here. I'm putting my wing out there, so I tend to just be lazy out there, and then after I do my wing, if I need to do any extra blending or putting on color, that's when I do that. Also, for the record, this eye, which is typically what I cut out and what I tend to cut out if I'm not talking like I am right now, Katie. But this eye is always, I feel like, my worst eye because I'm so lazy when it comes to this eye, because by the time I finish over here, it's like, okay, I got the footage for the video. I come over here to do it and I'm like, ah, come on, let's just get it over with. I gotta go. Mama's got things to do today. So I really do feel bad for this eye because I feel like, ah, I just threw my brush. Anyway, I was saying that I feel like this side always gets the short end of the stick because I'm always just kind of like, ah, that's good enough. I like how that is looking. I have a significant amount of fallout at this point, so let me dust it away. I mean, not crazy tons. I've had more with other palettes, but enough that I want it gone before it like sets in or anything. And I'm pretty sure that's all from Dairy. I didn't really notice any fallout on my face before putting on that darkest shade. Okay, now I'm going to cut my crease. I'm going to use my Makeup Revolution Conceal and Correct, because if you saw yesterday's video, I don't know about that P. Louise base. Anyway, I'm gonna cut my crease and then we'll come back and put on Trappa. Okay, here is where we're at. I think they're relatively even enough for my patience, I suppose. And now I'm just patting it out to make sure there's no like clumps of wet concealer, because it's definitely something that'll change the coloring of the matte. Okay, now I'm gonna go into Trappa and I'm gonna try the F75 brush. This is typically a brush I would use for shimmers just because it's flat and so it picks up shimmers nicely. However, I want to be really exact with placing this, so, and also I need to wash brushes, so I don't have the normal brushes I would use. So let's cross our fingers that this works. Oh, that's such a beautiful shade. I feel like it's so like boring to most people, like it's just that weird kind of baby poop shade, newborn baby poop, but I love that shade. I don't know how far I want to pull it over. I make these looks up as I go, I tell you. But I think I'm gonna stop like that, and I think I'm gonna put some of the color, was it Spooky? I think I want to put that on the rest of it. Let me go ahead and put this on the other side and I'll think about it. Let me try, I mean, I can't really undo it once I do it, so we're just gonna go for it. We're gonna put Spooky. They're just so pigmented and intense. Ugh. Okay, I feel like that's a fun pairing. So now I'm just gonna go, I'll fast forward all this so you guys can see, but don't have to watch it in real time because it's gonna take a little while, but I'm just gonna go and mesh all of this together. Okay, so I think I'm pretty happy at this point. I feel like I like this blend a little bit better than this blend. For whatever reason, you always gotta have one eye that turns out better than the other. But I'm just going to dust this off and then we can finish off with my lower lashes. I'm going to take Dairy, which is the purple, and I'm gonna put that right against my lashes because I'm gonna put black, you guys know me, black in my waterline. I'm gonna take a little bit of Adams since I can't really see it too much in this look and I really wanted to highlight all of the shadows in this look. I am going to put that on the inside portion, but I don't want to bring it too far down because this is a dark shade. So I'm just gonna go like this, and that way if I need to, I can take some Trappa and buff it out, or maybe even a little bit of whatever shade that is, Spooky. Okay, but yeah, that is pretty much the look. I might touch a little bit more here because I feel like I said, I love the blend on here. This one, I just feel like there's a little bit of a harsh spot, not the fault of the shadow or the palette. I feel like I always have to put that disclaimer out there, but just like me, and it's my color choices, I know, so it takes a little bit more work to effortlessly get the blend. But in looking at the viewfinder and even in the mirror, I like the blend going on here. This one, I just feel like it's a little stuck. So I'm gonna work on it a little bit more off screen. I'm going to wing it out, put on, oh, let me do my inner corner and then I'll do all that. So I'm gonna go with Sam, which is the middle shade here. This shade is blinding, just watch. This is kind of a big brush for me, so hopefully, I don't know why I always do this. Whenever I do all matte looks, I'm like, let me use a big brush in my water, or near my inner corner so that my eyes water. Anyway, look at that. That's so beautiful. So yeah, I'm gonna just work on blending all this out, finish out my look, and then we can round out this video. Okay, so I am all done, and this is the final look. I really like how it turned out. I know I say that like with every video that I've done recently, but I really like the final result. It's a very fun and different, and I love the combination of colors, and I love, oh, the inner corner highlight is just so blinding. I seriously can't get over how beautiful it is. It has a bit of a twinge of green to it, so it's really, really beautiful. This shade is gorgeous all over the lid. I'm pretty sure one of the looks that I'm doing has it all over the lid. It's just so beautiful. I cannot wait to show you guys, but as an inner corner highlight, it's gorgeous, and it's gonna stay that vibrant and that blinding all day long. It's gonna look that good at night, and I just love that about it. But yeah, overall, I really like how the look turned out. It's really fun and different. I love the combination of colors, and the pigmentation and the blendability of these shadows are just so overwhelmingly amazing, and that's one of the reasons I just had to pick it as a #1, because as I was picking my top favorite, I was like, okay, these are all amazing. I want to put them all at #1, but what makes a palette stand out? And I was like, okay, color story. Gotta be the color story that I like. This is the color story I absolutely love. And I was like, okay, so I got all the color stories that I like. I was like, okay, I want them all to be #1. How do I differentiate them and pick a #1? And I was like, best formula, and this formula is just so good. So that's one of the reasons why I just flew to the top, because it's got an outstanding formula. It's got a gorgeous matte formula. It's got a gorgeous shimmer formula. The color story and the ratio of matte to shimmer is absolutely beautiful. Shroud Cosmetics and Batty did an outstanding job, and this just stands out as like the best palette launch, like collaboration with a brand that I can think of for me personally to date. I mean, the formula is just so very good, and Butte Bean did a fantastic job with the color story. And like I said, the ratio of mattes to shimmers, I love it. Even though there's more shimmers to mattes, I still think it's perfection, and you can just get so many looks with this little 9-pan shadow, or this little 9-pan eyeshadow palette. I feel like I can get so many different looks with it, and I love that about it. I'm just so inspired every time I open it up. Just like today, I did a totally different look, even though I've used this like 4 or 5 times in the past, and it's a beautiful palette. They did a fantastic job, so I had to rank it as #1 from 2020, the best palette launch in my personal opinion out of all the palettes that I tried this year. The best palette by far, and it's a palette that I want to continue using and continue loving on in 2021 because it's just so very good. But yeah, that is the It's Freakin' Bats palette as my #1 palette, my #1 standout palette, favorite palette from 2020. And yeah, that's pretty much the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I cannot believe I have come to the end of sharing with you guys my favorite palettes that I tried in 2020. Tomorrow is going to start my best of and worst of beauty. I want to do 2 more videos sharing with you guys exclusively makeup related. We've just been talking about palettes because that's what I love to talk about on my channel, but I also want to touch on other makeup that I tried. So we're going to get into the best and worst of 2020 tomorrow and the day following that. And yeah, I hope you guys are excited to see those, and I hope you guys enjoyed seeing this kind of countdown to my top favorite palette, which I didn't even say in the beginning, but this is inspired by Annette from Annette's Makeup Corner. Can't believe I forgot that. But yeah, I've been trying to say that in every video. She did this last year. I absolutely loved it, and I wanted to do it this year. I always link her down below in the description box. Definitely check her out because she's doing it again this year. So if you want to see another YouTuber who loves color, who loves indie brands, also rank all the palettes that she's tried, check out her channel and you'll see a bunch of very fun looks that she has done with her top 5 palettes as well. But yeah, with all that said, that is going to do it for today's video. Thank you so very much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up on your way out. And if you want to continue getting daily content from me, I'm over on Instagram. I'm LadyKatie92. And with all that said, I will see you very soon in my next video tomorrow. Bye guys.